It once was home to a world-class maker of caskets, but tonight the old Marcellus Casket Warehouse on Richmond Avenue in Syracuse will be reduced to rubble. A major fire during the early morning hours destroyed the building, and tonight investigators are trying to find out who is responsible. NewsChannel 9's Keith Copeland is at the fire scene this evening. Keith, what are investigators telling you there?
What investigators are saying, Rod, is that it may take some time to actually come to an exact cause of this fire, a fire that is now in its 15th hour. A man who was out here when the fire started just shortly after, Chief Mark McLeese. And Chief, obviously a long day and probably a lot of work ahead of the department.
At this point now we've reduced our presence here. We have two engine companies that are wetting down, or actually still extinguishing the fire, because the fire is still free burning in the back there where the building collapsed and has covered itself up, so it's deep seated now, and we need the excavating cranes to uncover it so we can finally put the fire out.
And obviously not an easy task in determining the source of this fire, how it started, or if somebody may have started.
And like I said, we had a fire here a year ago, and at that point we knew it was a vacant building, and our crews do their walkthrough and check up on it monthly, and they're very familiar with the building, so they know that it's unoccupied. It's a vacant building. There's no utilities to the building, gas or electric and things like that. So that's why actually early on in the fire, right away, the chief made a decision, the first chief on the scene made a decision not to go in. A defensive operation, we're not going to risk firefighters for a vacant structure.
Exactly. A lot of work obviously still to be done here. This fire started, just about 3 o'clock this morning. You saw the pictures. It was kicking up a large amount of flames, and certainly firefighters did have their hands full. Nearly 12 hours after the fire was called in, firefighters were still pouring water on the hot spots. It was just before daybreak when this fire erupted through the windows and roof of the old factory. At the time, the fire chief told us it was too big to send his men inside.
We're not putting anybody at risk, no apparatus. These are $1 million fire trucks here. We're not going to lose a fire truck for a vacant building, and certainly not going to injure or harm a firefighter for a vacant building.
Firefighters poured thousands of gallons on the fire every minute, literally drowning it. For people who live in the shadow of the vacant building,
I sleep right here. Right out my window, I see the flames up.
It was a long night of hearing sirens and breathing smoke.
The smoke, even I had to close my windows because the smell from the fire was getting inside the house.
And that's a smell that is still in the air as we speak, some 15 hours after that fire started. So we mentioned before, demolition has just started. The fire department has ordered that demolition. The big question tonight, who will have to pay for that work to take place?
Well, now, Keith, it begs the question, who actually owns that building?
That's a question that we were asking throughout the day, Rod. Turns out that a group called Richmond LLC, they are the owners of the building. From what we understand, they are currently speaking with the Corporation Council